Hola, young amigos. Welcome back. So we're going to pick up where we left off last with the alphabet. And so I just wanted to point out, in case you didn't know, if you're wondering about the history of the Spanish language. Spanish developed mainly from Latin. The Roman Empire ruled for several centuries and imposed their language on the people of their conquered lands, which included Spain. Other languages that had great importance in the origin of Spanish were Arab, Greek, and the indigenous languages of the territories conquered by Spain. So, now that you know the sound of the vowels in Spanish, especially the e, like egg, the letter E, you can say the alphabet almost the same as in English. Spanish and English alphabets are almost identical. The Spanish alphabet has 27 letters, the 26 letters in the English alphabet, plus the letter Ñ, that canyon, nya, 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 nya. Remember that? So what you see in front of you is the alphabet, actually the pronunciation of the alphabet, how you say it, not how you're necessarily going to write it. You're going to write the letters just like we do in English. So the letters, the vowel letters are in green on your screen. The consonant letters are in blue, and then the red is just to kind of help you with how to pronounce the letters. Okay, so basically I'll just run through. A, B, remember that E sounds like E, like egg. B, C, Ch, D, E, F, H, H, that's the H. Letter H is, in Spanish we say H for that. I, J, K, L, Ll, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So to repeat, the actual letters are in either green or blue. So if it's in green or blue, that is the letter that you would write. The red is just to help you with how to pronounce them, how to say the letters in Spanish. In English, we say A, B, C, D. In Spanish, you say A, B, C, Ch, D. Okay? So that's what that is. Now, when you say the alphabet in Spanish, instead of saying the E as E, pronounce it as the E in egg. That's just a repeat because this is such a popular common letter to sound to use for the alphabet. The letters CH and LL, double L, that Y sound, no longer appear in new Spanish dictionaries. We say these letters in the alphabet song, including the RR, to learn how they are pronounced. There are other common names for the following letters. For the letter I, okay, you're learning it to say E, like ski, right? But you can also pronounce the letter of this alphabet I Latina. Latin I, basically. The letter Y can also be pronounced Y, which means Greek I, essentially. So to say Y in Spanish, you can either say Y or Y. The letter V, right? We'd said that that's pronounced V, or you can also say V, V or V. W, okay? So we can either say W, like we have here in red, or another. There's actually two other pronunciations I've heard. You can say W, which is this. It's like double V. Or you can say W. The letter LL, okay, Ella is the pronunciation of that letter of the alphabet, Ella. You can also say doble L, so no big deal on that. But anyway, that's your Spanish alphabet. We're going to move on and talk a little bit more about some pronunciation things, and when you see certain things, this is what they mean. Spanish has something called accent marks, where you write little marks over the letters. Those are called accents. So here's a few rules, and again, don't get so bogged down in the rules this week. Pretty soon we'll be starting to get some vocabulary. So we'll get there soon. This is just kind of some foundational information. Every word with more than one syllable has a vowel stress on one of the syllables. Always stress the vowel that has an accent mark. Okay, so if you see an accent mark over one of the vowels, that is the syllable that you will stress. For example, exámenes. And I'm enunciating a little extra just so you can hear it. Exámenes, exámenes. Chimpancé, pantalón, Júpiter. If there is no accent mark, stress the vowel in the next to the last syllable when words end in N, S, or a vowel. And by the way, the majority of words in Spanish do end in N, S, or a vowel. So here are some examples. We're going to put this on the second, we're going to put the stress that you say on the second to the last syllable. So, computadora, responsable, mini, insecto, examen, pantalones, notas. Put the stress on the vowel in the last syllable when words end in any other letters except N, S, or vowel. So here we have letters that end in R, L, or T. So we're going to put the stress that we say on the very last syllable. For example, refrigerador, visitar, responder, papel, internet. Cognates helps make things easy. Cognates are words that are similar between languages. They come from the same language root and are easy to recognize. Okay, notice same word, cognate, recognize, because we know them. These are related to the word cognition or knowing. There are many cognate words in English and Spanish. Some of these words you will guess correctly, correctamente. This is a cognate word for correctly. Most of the time by changing the ending from English to Spanish. So for example, nouns that end in T-I-O-N in English change to C-I-O-N in Spanish. So nation, nación. Organization, organización. Adjectives ending in O-U-S change to O-S-O, oso. So curious, curioso. Delicious, delicioso. So you can see how these are cognates. You can pretty much tell that looks like nation, that looks like organization, this looks like curious. So they're kind of nice. Verbs ending in ate change to ar. So for example, eliminate, eliminar. Decorate, decorar. Adverbs ending in ly change to mente. Really, realmente. Simply, simplemente. So these are just tools for you as you move forward in the course, that when you start to see some of these things, hopefully you can remember back to what you've heard here. However, there are some false cognates. Some words sound the same as in English but don't mean the same thing. These are called false cognates. For example, we saw previously the word quieto. It looks like quiet, but it's not. It means still or calm, which is related. The word excusado is not excused. It means toilet in some Latin American countries. Éxito, not exit. It means success. Embarazada, not embarrassed. It means pregnant. So a lot of these words you may learn by mistake. Like you make the mistake of using them out of context and somebody tells you, oh, you meant embarrassed. You said pregnant. Even though it's kind of painful, it will be a good learning experience for you. So just remember them as you hear them, that is a false cognate. And that concludes week 1. Next week, in week 2, we get started in some fun vocabulary and colors and shapes and things like that. So I will let you continue on with the rest of week 1, and I hope all goes well for you. Buena suerte.